Fist in the air! No pipelines, a solid native land! Woo! Matriarchs of the Tsleil-Waututh, Squamish, and Musqueam, thank you for welcoming us all onto your land. It's a wonderful place to be. And my fellow British Columbians thank all of you for taking time out on this Saturday to come out and show Stephen Harper and Christy Clark where we're going with oil or where we're not going with oil. Thank you very much for being here. Ladies and gentlemen, the Great Bear Rainforest is home to tens of thousands of First Nations people. We live there, we work there, our culture comes from that area, and we are never going to leave that. And we're elated that you come out here to help us protect an area that we hold dear. So this northern gateway is the sharp edge of the wedge. If they are allowed to move forward with Northern Gateway, there will be pipelines crossing British Columbia just the same as they've done all over Alberta. And who's going to allow them to do that? Not us. I don't think so. For the first time in history, we as First Nations people, as you heard from our local First Nations, have been here for about 10,000 years according to our legend. It goes all the way back to the Ice Age and the flood. But only in the last 100 years has humankind ever developed the technology and the ability to wipe out everything that we depend on, everything that we need to survive. That's what Northern Gateway represents, ladies and gentlemen. If we allow it to happen, that's the path that we're going to be on. Who is going to stop Northern Gateway?
It's been a really precedent-setting year on climate change this year. This is the first time that everyone from the OECD to the World Bank to the United Nations and the International Energy Agency acknowledge something really important. That if we are going to ensure a safe climate, we need to keep the majority of the carbon that we have left, the majority of the oil, the majority of the coal in the ground. So I was on a panel recently talking about climate change with someone from the oil industry, and afterwards he turned to me and said, "Are you crazy? Are you saying that we need to keep the majority of the oil sands in the ground?" I said, but we can make a killing. I'm here today to say that we don't need to make a killing. We need to make a living. The Harper government and the oil industry are trying to make it seem as though we have no choice, as though this is the only alternative. The bottom line is that Canadians deserve safe, clean jobs at home in their communities. Enough of this tired old rhetoric that it's a choice between the environment and the economy. What generation do you live in? In this generation, we have the creativity, the courage, and now the technology to get it right for our kids, and that's why we're here. Just because you hold environmental values, because you worry about oil spills, because you worry about climate change, just because you care about the air we breathe and the water we drink, does not mean you don't care about the economy and jobs. And it is wrong. It is a tragedy that a generation of Canada's children are growing up on both sides of this coast, from Comox to Halifax, waiting for mom and dad to get home from Fort Mac. It is not okay that there are workers there who are breathing toxic air and water. It is not okay that we are spilling 300 million liters of toxic sludge a day into open, unlined pits that we know are leaking, that there are rare cancers showing up downstream in First Nations communities. It's simply not okay. Last year, in one omnibus bill, we lost 70 environmental laws. The Harper Conservatives have gutted our environmental laws, and secret documents revealed by Post Media show that they did it at the request of the oil industry and pipeline companies. Why? Because those laws were in their way. The Enbridge Northern Gateway pipeline would cross over 1,000 streams and rivers. So they don't want those laws because those laws would trigger environmental assessments. What you may not know is when they took away those laws, 3,000 environmental assessments in this country were simply canceled. At the same time, they've been muzzling our scientists and refusing to allow climate research and research that shows us that a low-carbon economy in Canada is possible to be released. They've shut down the National Roundtable on Environment and Economy. They've shut down the Experimental Research Station. But you know what they've done? In some ways, they've given us a gift. Because now we know that oil is not only corroding our pipelines, it's corroding our democracy. And we are joining together across the country to say no. We're told through the millions of dollars of ad campaigns that it's necessary, that it's inevitable, that we need it to keep our hospitals open. No. There are choices that need to be made, and courageous leaders will make those choices and not bow down to the oil industry. Courageous leaders will design policy in Ottawa and not the oil patch. The Harper Conservatives are making a choice to subsidize the oil and gas industry to the tune of $1.2 billion tax dollars a year. These are the most profitable companies on the planet. 71% of those investors are foreign investors in the oil sands. Yet they say clean energy and renewable energy can't compete. Well, as long as they're propping up dirty oil, of course it can't compete. I'm here today to say we are not just saying no, we are saying yes. We are saying yes to clean energy and clean technology. We're saying yes to public transport. We're saying yes to the electrification of our transport system. We're saying yes to efficiency and retrofit programs that the Harper government canceled that would have saved us money and helped fight climate change. We are saying yes. This is the right battle at the right moment in history. We are living a tipping point moment in our history. Since 2004, the annual global investment in renewable energy has increased 700%. Europe decommissioned more coal, oil, and nuclear capacity than it installed last year. We are seeing, despite the fact that our leaders are not acting, that the markets are changing because the technology is there. This is our moment, a tipping point moment when we will re-envision industrial society. In the climate era, we don't know what the future holds, but today we know who holds it, and it's us. Thank you.
Who is going to protect democracy in this country?
20 years from now, 50 years from now, everyone here will be able to look back on this day and say, that day, I was in the best possible place, doing the most important possible thing I could be doing with my life.
Politicians give the permits, but the people give the permission. To get that oil to market, they have to get through me and you and everybody else. Are we going to let them do that?